welcome to today's CHL virtual press conference in Zurich. We're about to start an exciting season in 2 days and therefore would like to share some important information with you shortly before the puck drops on the ice. Over the next 70 minutes or so, CHL representatives will preview the season with you and 5 selected head coaches will talk about their goals and ambitions. All other participating head coaches will be featured as well. This is how today's agenda looks like. A few months ago, we concluded our 2023-24 season with an epic final in Geneva, Switzerland. To set the mood as pan-European club ice hockey returns to the arenas, let's re-experience that epic final with a video. Let's start with an interview. I'm happy to welcome our president, Jürgen Lindgren, on stage. Hi, Jürgen.
Hi, Monica.
Jürgen, looking at these pictures, how fond are your memories on the final in Geneva?
Oh, wow. It comes back great memories. It almost gives you goosebumps when you watch those kind of clips. I would say from the start, a very intense game. They managed to create a great atmosphere and then finalizing that with the home team winning and Geneva Chevette becoming the CHL champion. Great memories.
What does it mean for the CHL to have crowned a non-Nordic champion?
I think it's a very important, a great importance. I would say CHL is a European competition. So it means a lot that we have more countries competing all the way in and finally as we could see last season when we have a Swiss team winning.
Let's face the near future. 2 more days until puck drop. How excited are you to see European ice hockey to return to the arenas?
Well, finally September. Finally we can see some hockey. So it's really great, and I'm really looking forward to the games on Thursday.
It's the second season with the new format. How satisfied are you with the outcome?
I think we had a great start last season with the 24 teams, and it's very easy to follow where your team is and actually where you could move yourself up in the system. And a very close point last year of being up in the quarterfinal out of 16 or not. So I would say it creates an excitement from game 1, I would say.
The fans are hungry for ice hockey. What can they expect when the CHL returns this week?
I can see we can expect what we have seen the last year's very well-prepared team that would like to compete from the beginning, and especially with the new format we have, you have to be ready from the beginning and play good from the beginning. So I think exciting games and good entertainment.
Thank you, Jürgen.
Thank you.
Let's stay a little bit longer with that fantastic final in Geneva. I'm glad to have both head coaches of the finalists with us live today to recap that final, but also to share their ambitions for the upcoming season. Let's start with the champions. Jan Cadieux has been the head coach of Genève Servette since November 2021. Under his leadership, the team won its first national title in the club's 119 history, as well as the CHL title. Welcome, Jan.
Hello.
We have to start with that huge success last season when Servette lifted the European trophy in front of your home fans. How did that feel?
Well, that was a great feeling. We never expected to have the opportunity to be able to win the championships in front of our fans, and that really was a big hockey fest, we'll say, for Swiss hockey and for Geneva. So it was something really special, and we were really looking forward to compete again in this picture.
Your team excelled in Europe but did not fully meet the expectation in the domestic league afterwards. What do you think contributed to the Champions Hockey League success? Was it maybe the knockout rounds?
No, I don't think it's a mix of everything. We had to win the CHL, but one of our big goals last year, so I wouldn't say it was the only goal, but it was a big goal, and suddenly we started really slow in our league, and every time we played the CHL, we kind of found our rhythm, and suddenly the CHL became, at one point, became a really big goal, and that's why I think I really like the format from last year. Like Jürgen said it before, it was really interesting to understand where you're standing at, and of course that knockout round is really special, but I think it was more just the way things happen, and at the end we wanted to win our league at the CHL, but it worked for the CHL, it didn't work for our league.
As reigning champions, Servette is now the team to beat this season. Are you ready to handle that pressure?
Well, it's a big challenge. I think there is the CHL with this format, with all the top teams there is, it's going to be really tough. And like Jürgen said it before too, it was really good that for once it was maybe a non-Nordic team that wins, and we like that kind of pressure that we want to excel again in the CHL, but it's a long road until talking about winning another championship, because we're going to play some really, really good teams right away off the bat, and it's going to be a tough competitions, but right now we're just looking forward to the first couple games.
Some players have left the club or retired, but the core group remains. Will your playing style change this season, or will it evolve from what we are used to?
No, we have our ideas, but for sure we try to play in modern hockey, and we want to keep evolve and try to improve some things that we can improve. But we'll say, like I said, the core of the team didn't change. I think the mindset of the team didn't change, and the way we want to play didn't change. We wanna adjust and do a couple things better, and we're gonna use those games too to work on this. And like I said, to play one of the best teams in Europe, that gives you a chance to learn and to see different things that are made in different countries as well. And that's what the great thing of this competition is.
Looking at the lineup of the CHL in this 10-year anniversary season, the grid looks stronger than ever. Besides your team, who do you think can win the competition this year?
It's a tough question, because at the end there's so many teams that I can name at the end. I just want to wish the best in their season to all the coaches that are on the air right now. But for sure, there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of great teams from Switzerland. I think all 4 teams from Switzerland are going to compete really hard and are going to push to win the CHL. And of course, if I look at the great season Skellefteå had last year, it was a tight game for us, but how good they were, they're a top team in Sweden, but it would be a lack of respect to a lot of teams if I just mentioned those teams. So I think it's a great competition, and it's an open competition, and that's what makes it exciting for the fans. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of pretenders, and at the end, that's the fun thing about our business. That, there's only one winner, and everybody's going to try their best to win.
Thank you, Jan, and good luck for the season. Joining us now is Robert Olsson. It's Jan Gadjö's counterpart in the CHL final last February. Robert is the head coach of Skellefteå AIK, who won the Swedish championship in spring after narrowly missing the CHL title. Skellefteå is a dominant force in European club ice hockey, having only missed one CHL season so far. Hey, Robert.
Hi.
Robert, what a season it was. You won the Swedish championship for the first time in 10 years and came so close to winning the CHL as well. How do you build on that?
Well, I think we got most of our core players coming back for this season, so that's always good for us. I think our style or idea of playing is something we can start from, and maybe we need to adjust a couple of things and get better on small things. But I think mainly we look pretty good at this season as well.
Looking back at the CHL final in Geneva, your team narrowly missed the trophy. Was that game a big lesson for the SHL playoffs, or how did you bounce back so well afterwards?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot. First of all, we played a great home team, great team there. The atmosphere was something really for every player to really experience. I think the players learn a lot to come to Switzerland in front of that fanatic home team crowd. It was a really tough game for us, but you need to, if you're going to play games like that, you need to perform at your best, and you need to be ready from the beginning of the game. I think we played pretty good or pretty okay from the half of the game and forward, but Geneva was better than us the first 30 minutes, and they pretty much killed the game in the beginning of that. And so what we took from that game and what we learned from that game was to be ready right away from the start, and I think we could implement that to the playoffs in Sweden.
You are one of the most experienced coaches in the Champions Hockey League with Skellefteå, Djurgården and Frölunda. How do you see the competition evolving as we enter now our 10th season?
Yeah, I think it's tougher. I think there's no bad teams, if there ever been bad teams, but I think all the games are tough right from the start. And the new format is like you need to deliver right away now. You can just sit in the group. You need to deliver because you need to be I think it's the top 16 or a team or something. So you need to pretty much win every game and be sharp every game. So there's no smooth way. You need to really be sharp from the start of it. And I think, and from there, and the playoffs is just tougher and tougher. I know the Swedish team who is in the league, CHL this year, are really good. So I think it's going to be a really tough CHL.
Last year, you made the final with Skellefteå for the first time in 8 CHL seasons. What advice would you give other clubs aiming to get past the regular season or early knockout rounds?
Oh, do your thing, believe in that, and stay with that. I think that's the most important, and be humble and work hard.
Your team had a top power play last season. Where do you see your strengths for 2024-25?
I think special teams, we were going to still be good in that part, and I think we needed to adjust a little bit small things in the 5-5 games, both offensively and defensively. So we're going to try to adjust that and try to be a little bit better this season.
We have one more question for you coming from a journalist in the audience. He is asking, did you analyze your first opponent, Red Bull Salzburg, already? And if so, where do you see their strengths and what kind of game do you expect?
Yeah, we analyzed them, and I'm not going to tell so much about how we analyze them here, but we're going to be ready for that game on Friday. It's going to be a tough game. We met them last year, and they're a real good team, but we're going to be ready for the game on Friday.
Thank you, Robert, and all the best for the upcoming games.
Thank you.
The 2024-25 season marks a special one in the history of the Champions Hockey League. As it is our 10th anniversary season, the celebration has kicked off in spring already with the launch of a striking new visual identity ahead of our draw, pushing the boundaries of European club ice hockey further. A warm welcome now to Philipp Schuler, the CHL's Marketing and Events Director. Hi, Phil.
Good afternoon, Monica.
Phil, what inspired the new visual identity for the CHL?
First of all, for sure, the 10th anniversary season played a huge role in our decision-making to change up the brand a little bit. The 10th season is a huge milestone for the Champions Hockey League. After being founded in 2014, we went through a bold brand update in 2017. Changed our vision, mission, and set our proposition there. And after 7 years, I think it was time for something new. We also received feedbacks from clubs, leagues, and also internally from our content team that we were a bit one-dimensional with our so-called slapshot as a key visual and needed to change things up. We needed more variety and pace and energy, an injection of those key factors to be more suitable for the CHL brand.
How was the new visual identity developed and what are its key features?
About 2 years ago, I think we had the first discussions of what to do for the anniversary season, and I think it was a great idea to come up with a change in the brand and to also change it up with the logos, with the anniversary logo that we created for the 10th anniversary season. A year ago in May, we had the first workshops with our creative agency, 12 Men in London, where we analyzed our brand and figured out in which direction we want to head. And 12 Men was a great partner along the way. They also supported us in the brand update in 2017, so they knew us quite a bit. And now we came out with a broader variety of assets with our hypercharged theme, everything surrounding the hypercharged arena with our anniversary logos and type patterns and different colors in our color palette, our new headline font, so we change it up a little bit, and I think everyone's going to notice a change and a fresh look of the CHL.
How will the new visual identity enhance the fan experience and the brand recognition?
With the new visual identities, I think we set a new standard for innovation and variety in Europe, in European hockey, or even around the world, which should lead to more excitement with the fans and get them eager to visit our CHL games and watch our games on TV. Our motion principles are immersive, unpredictable, and amplified, which should catch their attention and get them back as fans for the Champions Hockey League. And of course, it's challenging with 24 teams across Europe in 12 different countries, in 24 different arenas to implement our brand with our new features. But we have great clubs who support us along the way. And the last couple of months, we saw a huge support from the fans supporting us with our new brand.
What are the feedbacks which you have received so far from the fans and also from the participating teams?
So far, the feedback has been great. I mean, we're starting the competition in a couple of days, and the fans will see the whole immersive experience in the arena in a couple of days, and us as well. We haven't seen that with full stands in the arenas, so that will be very exciting. And we hope the fans will love the new brand assets and the new colors as much as we do.
How does this brand update fit with the CHL's long-term goals?
Well, we changed the format last season, so sporting-wise, we are set for the future, and it this season we changed it up brand-wise, so I think we're set for a new era of the Champions Hockey League. I think it's another piece to the puzzle for the CHL to get even stronger. The new look will help us re-energize our fans and also attract new fans to the competition. And we're very excited for the upcoming games and the season to start. And just a big thank you to our CHL team for 12 Men, our creative agency in London, Infront Productions, supporting us and being creative along the way.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you.
The 10th anniversary season is a milestone we are truly proud of. Reaching this point has been quite a journey, marked by steady development, unconventional ideas, and significant commitment of all involved parties. Along the way, many stories have been written into the history books. Before we look back at some of them, let's check some facts and figures. 9 CHL seasons have been played so far, almost 1,200 games played on 121 game days. 102 teams have been participating in the CHL so far. They are from 20 countries and from 14 leagues, and we had 18 draws already. Further, we had 6 different champions from 3 countries. One team, Tappara Tampere, has been qualified for all seasons so far. About 4,800 players have been in the lineups. Frölunda Gothenburg is the team with the most CHL games played, 97, same as its head coach, Roger Rönnberg. The player with the most CHL games played comes also from Gothenburg. It's Joel Lundqvist. He played in 88 games. And the all-time top scorer is Ryan Lash with 138 points. That's actually twice the amount of the second-place player. Lash lined up for 4 different teams in the CHL and didn't miss any season so far. Those are the figures. Now, as mentioned earlier, many stories have been written over the past 10 years. It's hard to choose, but there are 10 we consider iconic. The first puck drop for the new Champions Hockey League took place on 21st August 2014 in Czechia between Vítkovice Ridera and German side ERC Ingolstadt. Many top stars showcased their talent in the Champions Hockey League before moving to the NHL. The 2015-16 season was one to remember, with future top draft picks Austin Matthews, Patrick Lane and Jesse Puljujärvi, along with top prospect Sebastian Aho. Also players like Elias Pettersson, Rasmus Dahlin and Tim Stützle made their mark in the Champions Hockey League. Starting from the 2017-18 season, the CHL implemented a qualification system based purely on teams' sporting achievements and removed guaranteed places for shareholder teams. This strategic shift enhanced the credibility and added, with the race to qualify, an extra layer of excitement to the national leagues. The fans' enthusiasm for exploring Europe with the CHL has been remarkable over the years. In 2019-20, over 1,000 Augsburg supporters traveled to Czechia and Switzerland. Other samples are 1,000 Storhammar fans in Stockholm or 1,000 Straubing fans in Villach. Frölunda Gothenburg, the most successful teams in the history of the Champions Hockey League, has lifted the European trophy 4 times: 2016, 2017, 2019 and most recently in the CHL final 2020. The Rouen Dragons became in 2021-22 the first Challenger League team to reach the quarter-finals. Despite falling short against Tappara in that round, Rouen's determination and enthusiastic home crowd support impressed everyone. In 2022, Olimpia Ljubljana joined the Champions Hockey League as the 100th participating team, adding Slovenia as another country to the competition's history books. Only 2 people have won the CHL in different roles. Cam and Chris Abbott were crucial to Luleå's 2014-15 win. 7 seasons later, they led Rögle Ängelholm to their first title in club history, with Cam as the head coach and Chris as the sports director. Tappara Tampere, Finland's most successful ice hockey club, is the only team to have played in every CHL season. They have reached 2 finals, losing in 2022, but finally securing the European trophy in 2023. After 8 years of Swedish and Finnish dominance, Swiss club Genève Servette broke the Nordic streak by winning the European trophy this February. Their victory marks a shift in European club ice hockey. Now we're back in the present. It's time for our next interview. We put our focus on a team that returns to the CHL after a long absence. The Sheffield Steelers have participated in the CHL last 2016-17 and take now on their European journey after winning the Grand Slam in the UK. Welcome to Sheffield's head coach Aaron Fox.
Hi there.
Aaron, last season the Steelers won the Grand Slam. This means taking home all trophies on offer to you in the Elite Ice Hockey League. Where do you go from there?
Well, all our goals domestically aren't going to change. We obviously, as an organization, want to be competing for all those same trophies that we won last year. Winning the league, adds a different layer by allowing us to play in the Champions Hockey League this year, which is great. Great experience for the guys and the organization, and we're looking forward to it.
Sheffield played in the CHL before, 2016-17, as we just heard, but a lot has changed in the competition since then, and of course also for the Steelers. Do you see this now more as a first-time participation for your club?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of first-time participants in our group. I think Robert Dowd, Cole Shudra were with the club back when they were there before, but for us as a coaching staff and a bunch of the new players, this is definitely a first-time experience and something that everyone's kind of amped up for and ready to get going.
How are the Steeler fans reacting on the opportunity to see their team playing against the very best teams of Europe?
Very excited. They love the European competition, so for us to be able to win the league and be able to play in this, a bit of a tough weekend for us where we play in Switzerland on Thursday and then up in Sweden on Saturday. So I'm not sure what type of away support we'll get. I know there'll be some making the trip there, which is a big ask, but I know they'll be here supporting us from home, that's for sure.
Lots of opponents are excited to visit the UK and see how hockey is developing over there. But where are you most excited about visiting and learning?
Yeah, we're playing really, really good road teams. We're in Sweden and we have 2 games in Switzerland. They're all going to be very, very good teams and hard competition for us. But it's exciting. We get to start with 2 games on the road, and then next weekend we get Sparta, Prague, and Skellefteå at home, which would be really exciting as well.
Belfast was just a point away last season from the playoffs. Do you think it's now the time for an elite ice hockey league team to make a big impact in Europe?
Well, I'd love if that was the case. We'll prepare a game at a time here. We've watched Fribourg and a little bit of Vauquois as well currently, and they look really good on tape. So we know we're going to have our hands full. We'll be ready to compete and play together as a team and take what we get.
We also got some questions from journalists for you. Actually, it was about 7, but as most of the topics are already covered, I limited to 2 also, just to not use too much time from you. Sure. First one, has the absence of Captain Robert Dowd and Cole Shudra at the Olympic qualification affected your plans for the CHL games?
Yeah, it's been different. Today was our first skate with a full team. We had them on this morning. Tomorrow's a travel day, and we'll pregame skate on Thursday. The nice thing is we've got a good core group of guys coming back, so there's some line combinations that we can use from last year that we know have had some success. But it's been nice to try some different guys in some different spots during camp here as well, with those guys being gone.
And the other question is, how did you and the team find playing CHL rules versus Cardiff this past weekend to prepare for your next games?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting rule change. Really put some emphasis on your special team play. Can make a difference, absolutely, especially if you can score a goal early there, or you can stay on the power play and with the penalty kill, wiping a power play away, which we did on the weekend, was interesting as well. So it'll be exciting.
Thank you, Aaron, and good luck with the season.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We have now another guest here on stage with me. Please welcome our sport manager, Fadri Hollinger, who will give a preview of the upcoming season from a sports perspective. But before we go into details, Fadri, what do you think the Sheffield Steelers can achieve this season?
I think looking at their roster of new recruits and also established core players, I think the chances of finishing top 16 in a regular season and then also qualifying for the playoffs are really there.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. So please go ahead with your presentation now.
Yes, thank you, Monica. To start us off, let's have a look at the participating field of the upcoming season. We will have teams from 11 leagues representing 12 countries. Hungarian side favor up for 19 or joining the CHL as the representative of the 12th country. If we have a closer look at where the 24 teams are based geographically wise, we have teams up north in far Sweden, Skellefteå, Geneva down south, west in Switzerland, and the Steelers, as just mentioned, from Sheffield in UK. The only newcomer on this season's grid are the Polish champions Unia, along with 11 teams returning from the last CHL season, and 12 teams participated already in previous CHL seasons. Yeah, so what did the participating teams achieve in their domestic leagues, and how did they qualify for the upcoming CHL season? Well, the roster of 24 teams is made up of the reigning CHL champions, Genève Servette, which were automatically qualified. We have 11 national champions from 6 shareholder leagues and 5 from the allocated challenger leagues. 4 regular season winners and 5 runners-up, and ultimately 3 third-placed clubs. There's only one real dinosaur left, meaning that the team who participated every season so far in the CHL, and that is Finnish side Tappara Tampere. 5 further European teams, which currently participating in the CHL, have come close to this remarkable achievement with 9, respectively 8 entries into the top tiers club competition. Last season, we launched a new competition design, and here you can see the most fundamental pillars on which the format is based on. We reduced our lineup of participating clubs down to 24 teams to make the competition even more exclusive. Instead of only facing 3 teams home and away as in the past, the new format allows a wider range of opponents across Europe, with teams now playing 6 different opponents in the regular season. And teams are ranked from 1 to 24 in the so-called regular season overall standings, with the top 16s proceeding to the first playoff round. And here's the competition format at one glance: 72 games in the regular season, followed by 29 games in the playoffs, which leads us to a total of 101 games. The playoff starts with the round of 16, and all rounds will be played in a 2-game home and away aggregated scoring series, except the 1-game final. Teams will face each other on the base of the ideal bracket in the playoffs, and that is based on the overall regular season standings. Last year, at the end of the regular season, it was only 1 point which decided over being qualified for the playoffs or eliminated from the competition. With the new format, we achieved our main goal of avoiding meaningless games in the end of the regular season and generated additional excitement as well as attractiveness. With the change to the ideal bracket approach in the playoff, we increased the credibility and also the importance of teams' performance. So all in all, we can definitely say that last season's format transition was very smooth and also well perceived. So let's jump to the CHL On Ice rule changes, respectively the main objective of those. The aim of changing and adding specific rules was to create more excitement, but at the same time the rule changes needs to be understandable for all the involved parties and should not jeopardize the credibility and especially the player safety. So here you can see the 3 on-ice rules implemented last season. First up, minor penalties are served in their entirety, regardless of whether a goal against a short-handed team is scored or not. Secondly, if a goal is scored during a situation when a penalty is pending, the minor penalty still needs to be served afterwards. And finally, if a short-handed goal is scored, the minor penalty against the short-handed team will end, the so-called jailbreak rule. To measure the impact of those rules, we evaluated if they reached our intended goal, and we relied mainly on a data-driven approach, but also gathered some feedback, subjective feedback. A handful of statistical impacts are illustrated on this slide, and they're always in comparison to previous CHL season where the rules have not been in place. So we had 10 power plays, which actually had additional scoring, meaning that 2 goals were scored during the same power play. This further means 1 double scoring power play every 10 games. Regardless whether a double scoring occurred or not, the following chart clearly shows that teams pushed hard to score early in the power play to capitalize on the opportunity for an additional scoring within the same power play. Meaning that over 60% of all power play goals were scored during the first minute. In the past, and without the rule in place, power play scoring was equally split between the first and the second minute of a power play or a minor penalty, and this not only in the CHL but also in other leagues of multiple seasons. The total number of minor penalties per game only slightly decreased in comparison to last season, as can be seen on this tile. Therefore, the assumption that referees call less penalties due to the impact of the new rules could not be supported. Next figure indicates the impact of the jailbreak rule. We had 24 shorthanders last season, which is an increase of around about 30% of shorthanded goals per game. The average shorthanded goals per game rate was substantially higher in comparison to leagues across Europe, but also overseas. So bottom line, we had 1 shorthanded goal every 4 games. We can conclude that the shorthand rule had significant impact. Teams strive for a more aggressive and constructive PK playing approach, and penalty killing is not only focused on not conceding a goal, since there's an additional incentive of scoring a shorthander, which actually gets you the relief from being 1 man down. So the overall increase of the goals scored per game showed us that the rules had a significant impact, not only significant but also recognizable. And I think also important is that it had the impact, but there was no completely changing of the game. So not only because of the evaluation on the ice and the seamless integration, we decided to continue with the 3 on-ice rules for another season. Another addition to this year's casebook is the neck guard obligation. Since most of our participating leagues had neck guard obligation already in place, and the IHF also introduced this mandatory in this year's rule book, we decided as a CHL also to introduce this obligation. Our interpretation differs slightly from the IHF, so this means actually if a player does not comply with the obligation, there will be in the first step a warning, and if the player still does not respect the rule, a 10-minute misconduct penalty will be called. Game official program. In the regular season, all 4 game officials will be domestic, with the exception of 11 games, where we will have 1 international head referee from the IHF exchange program. For the playoffs, we will have 2 international head referees paired with 2 domestic linesmen, and the only exception is during the CHL final, where we all have 4 game officials being international. So the first puck drop of the season will be this Thursday, and the season culminates with the CHL final on the 18th February 2025.
Thank you very much, Fadri.
Thank you.
The season start is approaching quickly and our participating teams are ready for puck drop. We have spoken with all their head coaches ahead of this press conference and listen now to the first group about their goal and ambitions.
It's play against the new teams. It's always a good chance for us to learn from them and also see the different ways to play the game, and also a big challenge for us. There's the top teams of Europe, a lot of national champions. So it's really great opportunity for us to develop our game.
I'm looking forward mostly, I think, the challenges that we will face, because probably will be the underdogs, so So probably we have to defend a lot and play without the puck. And I hope that it's just gonna, fix our defensive game quicker, and it will be good for our season.
Traveling is really it's actually a great byproduct of the Champions League. In our league, we're home every night, and I think both gets our guys to be together a little bit more. And in terms of team building, I think that really gives them an opportunity to come together as a team. It gives a few more opportunities. So, we're going to be going into Norway to play Strohammer. We're going to be going into Finland up to Tampere to play Ilves. And those are opportunities for our team to be together for almost a week. And that's something that we don't get an opportunity to do in the regular Swiss League.
Tak to je takový to vidět, jak vypadají jiné ligy, jak hrajou jiný manšafty, v jakém systému a v jaký taktice. Samozřejmě budeme mít 6 různých týmů a i různých takových nastavení, jak se chce hrát hokej. A já si myslím, že budeme připravení, aby jsme postoupili ze skupiny.
Different opponents, different styles of hockey. It's something that we really want to embrace. We want to make sure that one of our goals is that we're very present in this championship. We want to show that we belong, that we can compete with these teams that are all champions or real good contenders in their leagues. So it's definitely something we're really looking forward to.
I think we really like it, competing against the best team in Europe, competing against different types of hockey that we're learning to play against different opponents, developing our own game, and really the fan culture in different countries is interesting to see. So I think this means a lot for the organization.
Tak já si myslím, že pro naši organizaci to znamená jako velký úspěch. Vlastně jsme tomu postoupili po druhý za sebou tady s organizací Pardubice a já si myslím, že si budujeme v Evropě velký renomé. Teď jsme vlastně získali jako druhý nejlepší tým evropský. Jo, takže si myslím, že to pro nás je nějaký ocenění té dlouhodobější práce v té základní části a potom v playoff. A já si myslím, že jsme si budovali velké jméno teď v Evropě a těšíme se na to, co nás čeká.
I think for the organization it's huge coming down to see how top teams or clubs are doing in around the world. Learning from them if we can use something from there, and then they just excited like we are to see how we compare ourselves to other teams in the big leagues there. So it's gonna be fun to be part of. I know all the guys are looking forward to again see how they are compared to some of the best teams in Europe. For the club, it means that we are attractive maybe for some players, that they will choose Sønderjyske compared to other teams because we are playing the Champions Hockey League. So it's huge for the whole club, and we are very excited to be a part of the tournament here.
For our club, our organization, to play the CHL is a really nice competition. We want to compete in that competition. We want to be ready from the start right away, and I think it's a great honor for the French hockey to play CHL every year. So we really need to be good from the start.
For sure, it's a great opportunity, great privilege for the player to play that kind of tournament, and for the organization, it's a nice occasion to put light on our city through the Europe.
Well, obviously, tremendously proud of representing Finland in club championships in Europe. That's number one thing, and we don't take that lightly. We're trying to become as prepared as possible. and obviously representing the city of Tampere and this organization of Tappara. So there's a lot of stake out there. We really see it as a huge challenge for us, and we're really looking forward to it. It's one of the high points of the last season of qualifying for the Champions League. That's always in back of everyone's head, and when we did that, it was obviously a great satisfaction of being here where we're at.
We will hear from the other head coaches of participating teams later on in this press conference. If you wish to see the full interviews with more questions to all the 24 participating head coaches, check the QR code or scan the QR code, and then you will be directed to the interviews online. Next, joining us live today is Alexander Sulzer. He is the new head coach of Penguins Bremerhaven in Germany. Alexander has played 131 NHL games and appeared in 3 CHL games with Kölner Haie in 2014-15. He will begin the upcoming season in his first role as a head coach. Welcome, Alexander.
Thanks for having me.
Alexander, after historic DEL season where the Penguins Bremerhaven won the regular season and reached the playoff finals, do you see returning to the CHL as the perfect reward for your club's success?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, last year was a great season, and the guys really battled hard from the first day to the last day, and really deserve to be part of the Champions League now.
Bremerhaven have been gaining momentum and respect over the recent years. How do you approach the 2024-25 season? What is your goal for the Champions Hockey League?
We want to win every game, right? Like that's how we prepare, and that's our goal. We're gonna take each game at a time. We want to win every game.
Your team played on European stage already in 2021-22 and beat their TPS Turku from Finland and also Swedish top club the Växjö Lakers. How much has changed in Bremerhaven since then?
Well, it's a small organization, so it's a daily progress, right? The whole organization tries to get better every day, and from then to now, it's working really well, and going to continue that same way.
After the draw, your club management chose Sparta Prague as their top opponent for the regular season. Do you share the same view, or who do you think will be the most interesting opponent for your team?
Well, it's like all opponents we're facing are really, really good teams. And again, we're going to take every game one at a time. And if you just look at the first weekend, we play Geneva and Lausanne, the defending CHL champion and the finalist in Switzerland from last year. So that's a tough start, and it just continues to be the same way for the next 4 games after that.
With your extensive DL and NHL experience, along with your brief time playing in the Champions Hockey League, does this background help you understand what is needed to lead the team to success in multiple competitions?
Well, I don't think it's my experience which helps. I think it's the way we approach it, and that we know that every game will be a challenge. Every team plays a different style of hockey, so it's for us to prepare the players so they're adaptable to play against different styles of hockey, and also for the players, it's going to be a great challenge, great experience to play a different game every time.
Thank you, Alexander, and good luck for the season start.
Thank you very much.
Let's wrap up this live talk with our only new team this season, rookies Unia Oswiecim. Welcome to Nick Zupancic, the head coach of the Polish champions, who is starting his 5th season with the team and his 3rd consecutive one. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
Nick, it's the first time in the Champions Hockey League. What are you most excited for?
Yeah, for sure. Like my previous colleagues said, it's compare ourselves to different leagues. Also represent our club in a Champions League, which is the top league probably from Europe, and also to learn from the other clubs. It's no secret that we are probably underdog, but we're here to compete and learn and then implement this also to our regular season.
Unia won its 9th Polish championship last season. Are you ready to bring what it takes to challenge some of Europe's very best teams?
Like I said, Unia waited 20 years to win a championship. So everybody was really excited, fans, and reward for that it's playing in the Champions League. So we are, like before, probably not the best team, but we are here to compete for sure and try to represent the Polish hockey and the organization.
Your game against Trinec will be special due to the cities being so close together, and also Trinec have some Polish fans. Is this the highlight for your season or for your regular season?
Yeah, for sure. It's very exciting for our fans because it's close. They can travel to the game. I think they will show up in big numbers. And it's, again, some kind of rivalry always when we play the closest team, and Trinec, it's one of the best in Czech, so it's going to be an exciting game.
Polish teams have surprised in the Champions Hockey League before, like Katowice beat ZSC Lions Zurich. Could your game against Eisbären Berlin at home maybe be the perfect stage for a surprise?
I don't know if there's a perfect stage for the surprise, but of course we're going to be excited because this is the first game at home. We are playing first game in Niles and traveling back home. But still, for sure, all the players and the fans are going to be excited for that first game. And maybe, as you said, maybe it could be a game for surprise.
What style of play can we expect from your team?
Well, it's hard to say because every league, every team plays a little bit of different hockey. So I think our biggest thing is just to higher speed and quicker reaction. That should be our main goal. But the way of style that we want to play, of course, we don't want to defend. We want to play modern hockey, with quick transition, be dangerous also in offensive zone. All the parts of what we try to play modern.
We are excited to see how our newcomers will perform on the European stage. Thank you very much, Nick, and all the best.
Thank you.
Now let's return to the season outlook with some off-ice information, or let's call it not that much sports-related information. First of all, we are proud to have teamed up with our official partner Warrior Sports and the reigning champions Genève Servette in our sustainability efforts. As a result, Servette will wear Warrior certified sustainable jersey for the upcoming season. This jersey is made of yarn containing recycled plastic. If you would like to read more about that project or that jersey, please check out the article on our website. Another topic which is always of interest for the journalists is the prize money for the upcoming season. We are there on a stable base or steady base like last season. A total of 2.45 million euro will be paid out. All participating clubs in the regular season get a prize money of 65,000 euro. After they're progressing to the next round, we'll give more prize money to the clubs, and the winners will get a total of 360,000 euro. Of course, prize money is one side, but the clubs have other revenue opportunities. Ticketing, hospitality, food and beverage, all they earn there is the club's money. And also on the sponsorship side, we have added some more opportunities to the clubs already last season. For example, they get a ring board in TV view, or they have an attractive package on social media where they can add a sponsor on their social media post. So we try to promote the clubs there also and give them opportunities to make more income in the Champions Hockey League. Having a quick look on the broadcasting situation, we have 14 broadcasters for this upcoming season who broadcast to 28 countries. Most countries or core markets, stable long-term contracts. For example, we have in Austria ORF, we have the Viaplay for the Nordics, Sport 1 and 2 in Czechia, MySports and TV24 for Switzerland, and in Germany, we have Sport Deutschland as a partner from last season, and a new addition there with Magenta, who is also broadcasting some of the games with German participation, which helps us to increase the reach in Germany. As a new thing on the broadcasting side is the launch of an OTT platform which is called everyplay.live. This platform helps us to broadcast the games in countries where there is no broadcasting contract in place. For the participating countries, this is mainly for the UK and France, so the games for the fans there will be broadcasted on Everyplay. There is some annual passes or pay-per-game in place. For fans who want to register there for an annual pass, we have a promotion, 15% off on an annual pass until the end of September with the shown promo code CHL15. Another topic for the fans is our predictor game. We have launched that last season and are going now in the second season. The platform has just been published a couple of days ago. Fans can predict the games there, play against their friends, play against fans from other clubs and also for their country. There is a ranking or several rankings in place, and it's possible to win attractive prizes. A new feature on our website will be the live standings. With the new format introduced last season, the standings have become much more important than before, because now all the teams are in the same table. You always see where you are between 1 and 24 in Europe. And now, as we add the live games to that table, it becomes even more interesting to follow the standings during the games, especially on game day 5 and 6, where the race for the playoffs is on. This is a must-have for the fans and also for the journalists. And last but not least, as every year, the media guide has been published already. It's a helpful tool for journalists with information on the Champions Hockey League, but also on the clubs, their stars. There is information about accreditation, media contacts. Please download it with the QR code shown here or find it on the CHL website. As you know, we have talked to all the head coaches of participating teams ahead of the season start and ahead of this press conference. Listen now to the second group to share their thoughts.
Our 6 opponents are all very good. They all finished in the top couple of teams in their league, or were champions, or were in the finals. So we've got an extremely tough task ahead of us, and from what we've seen so far watching film, they're going to be excellent opponents for us.
Really successful organizations, top in their countries and also in Europe. So for us, we expect really hard games, and we just can't wait to play it.
Oh, they're 6 opponents that's got a lot of quality. I think in a tournament like this, obviously everyone has a little something special. Obviously between, you know, we got Czech teams, we got like Swedish. You're playing different flavors. Obviously, everybody's got their own style of play. Team from Switzerland, from Denmark, from Poland. So for us, it's up to us to make sure we're ready for a different style, and also taking our own style of play into this Champions Hockey League.
I think our opponents are really good teams. 3 teams from Switzerland, all top teams, Geneva, Lausanne and Zurich. Players from top countries in Europe and North America, and then I think those challenges are really big and good for us. Of course, also then the Swedish team, Växjö, a great opportunity for us to measure ourselves against the top team from our Western neighbor. And then the French team and Polish team are new experiences. Especially the Polish team we have not played before. French team we played last year, but great opportunities for us to also try out stuff inside the game and also to see where our players are at the moment.
I think the biggest thing is to be mentally and physically ready when the puck drops. I think you can have a less skilled opponent on the other side, but if you're not ready to play, you're going to lose the game. So it's a tough tournament and it's a tough challenge, and you go to different arenas and countries. You're not used to the traveling, and you're not used to the food and all that stuff around. So we know that every game is going to be a tough challenge for us.
It heavily influences. Experience is, you can argue, is the greatest teacher in life. And I don't think I was ready. Even though I knew these teams and I've watched over the years, you don't know until you know, and you don't know until it hits you in the face. You know, like Mike Tyson said. You know, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. This is a famous quote, and Skellefteå punched us in the face right away. Then we hit the DEL teams, Mannheim and Ingolstadt, bang, 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 and it was eye-opening. And I think we need to be better prepared on the coaching side, that we have a game plan when the time comes for this certain level of competition for all the teams that we face.
Yes, a little bit, of course. Last time I coached a team in Champions Hockey League 7-8 years ago. I coached Stavanger Oilers. First of all, I remember we have to stay with 5 guys on the ice because they are so good in power play, and the new rules now, if you score in power play now, you still play. So you can really get hurt if you get too many penalties. So we have to have a very good discipline and be smart out there.
Well, I think it definitely helps us having played in it 2 years ago. For me, it's my 3rd time coaching in the Champions League, and having played in it with this team 2 years ago, I think it definitely helps as far as the leading up to the games, and also having a better experience and knowledge of how to come out after the games and going into our league play. So it's a valuable experience that we're all learning from, and it teaches us how to win, how to be a better hockey club.
Remember, if you want to see the full recordings with the interviews of the head coaches from all 24 participating teams, scan the QR code and then you will get access to the online interviews. We're almost done for today. Thank you everyone for listening. Remember, the season starts in 2 days with 6 games on Thursday and another 6 games on Friday, concluding game day 1. A big thank you also goes to our sponsors, longtime official presenting sponsor Engelbert Strauss, our official sponsors Skoda and Warrior, and our official partners. Thank you very much. That's it from us from Zurich. Goodbye for now.